6:15 in Douala, thanks and welcome to join me. I'm Kejang Henry acting before the news. Now let's begin with our top stories. Four senior bishops in Cameroon have called for a leadership change at the head of the country. Their thought-provoking statements are laden with spiritual undertones as the nation yearns for change, while President Paul Biya remains resolute to serve Cameroonians for another 7 years. And political leaders have equally reached out to Cameroonians with words of encouragement, determination, and commitment. Joshua Osei of the Social Democratic Front, Cabral Libi of the PCRN, and Maurice Kamto equally addressed Cameroonians at the end of the year 2024. And about 200 personnel upgraded in Bamenda, northwest of Cameroon, on the occasion of the Armed Forces Day commemorated on January 1, 2025. Top stories.
Canal International.
Welcome to the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry. Check on our platforms for consultation. And the last day of the month of December has become the traditional delivered their end-of-year address at the eve of January 1. Cabral Libi of the PCRN, Joshua Osei of the Social Democratic Front, and Maurice Kamto of the CM Party equally addressed Cameroon addresses to the nation.
Addressing their militants, sympathizers, and the population at large, these opposition political leaders, SDF Joshua Osei, PCRN Cabral Libi, and CRM Maurice Kamto's picture is of a crumbling Cameroon.
With a continuous rise in the price of basic foodstuff on the market, making the cost of living unbearable for our people, especially the poorest and most vulnerable.
The ongoing, in all, over 900,000 displaced citizens, countless lives disrupted, communities torn apart. This is the price of failed leadership.
Their presence, they say, is indication that hope is not lost. So desire to see a new president to completely change.
That the people of our 10 regions are calling for.
It's your power to write the next chapter of our nation's story.
D'un camion 4x4 à haute suspension. Son travail sera d'aider nos agriculteurs à transporter leurs produits vivriers des champs jusque dans les marchés.
As we enter 2025, we carry forward not just hope, but determination. Together, we will build a Cameroon where every voice matters.
The future is opening up to us. Let's seize it.
They believe a level ground, peaceful political climate, good electoral process, especially by the parties concerned, can make it happen this 2025.
Heureuse et merveilleuse année 2025 à tous et à chacun.
I wish you all a happy 2025. Power to the people. God bless Cameroon.
I wish you Happy New Year in 2025. I wouldn't betray you. May God lift up our country.
The election of a new president is scheduled for October this year in Cameroon.
Thank you very much, Beatrice Ngamo. And from those political outings, 4 bishops, senior bishops of Cameroon have called for a leadership change at the helm of the country in a thought-provoking statement laden with what is known as spiritual undertones. The bishop have yearned for change. Meantime, President Paul Biya now stays resolute, saying he still has that determination to serve Cameroonians. Details in this commentary. As the curtain fell on 2024, 4 prominent Catholic bishops in Cameroon delivered powerful and thought-provoking messages that reverberate far beyond the walls of the church. These statements, laden with spiritual undertones and socio-political reflections, come at a pivotal time, an electoral year for the nation yearning for change. Archbishop Samuel Cleder of Douala struck a reflexive chord, reminding the faithful and political class alike of human limitations. He remarked, "We are human beings. At some point in time, we leave this world. We cannot perform miracles." May well be a subtle call to leaders who cling to power, define the natural cycle of leadership transition. In a nation where political longevity has become a norm, these words change the status quo. Meanwhile, Archbishop Jean Barga of Yaoundé urged Christians to assume their historic responsibility in shaping the nation. As Cameroon urges towards elections, his call is a reminder that democracy thrives when citizens actively participate, making informed and courageous choices for their future. Bishop Yaoud Hurgo of Yagua took a bolder tone, declaring, "We are not going to suffer any more than this. Even the devil should take over power first in Cameroon, and then we shall see." This stark statement captures the collective frustration of a nation grappling with economic hardship, insecurity, and political stagnation. His words resonate with many Cameroonians who feel trapped in a cycle of despair and are desperate for a transformative change. On the political stage, however, President Paul Biya remains resolute in his grip on power. His end-of-year address affirmed his determination to serve Cameroonians, signaling an intention to extend his 42-year rule. For a leader who has already spent over 4 decades in office, this declaration reveals an unrelenting thirst for power, even as the nation faces mounting calls for new leadership. The juxtaposition of these voices, the bishop's urgent reflection, action and change, and the president signaling continuity, lays bare the crossroads at which Cameroon stands. The Shakespearean analogy of playing your part and quitting the stage seems even more relevant, yet the stage is crowded and the players are unwilling to exit, leaving the audience, the people of Cameroon, wondering how the next act will unfold. And welcome back. About 200 personnel have been upgraded in the Northwest region, precisely in Bamenda, the chief town of the Northwest region, on the occasion of the Armed Forces Day that was commemorated on January 1, 2025. Annie Collins sent us feeds, our Northwest chief correspondent, and Sheriff Saleh.
About 200 military personnel in Bamenda have received new epaulets, raising them to higher ranks. In a stricto sensu military ceremony at the command post of the 5th Joint Military Region at Up Station, January 1, 2025, the occasion was void of speeches. The highest recipients of the day were 2 colonels of the Halt sector, whose epaulets were affixed by General Buba de Bekreo, commander of the Joint Military Region, and General Husseini Jibu of the 5th Gendarmerie Region. With strict respect for hierarchy, the superiors remain in place to immediately decorate their genius, and that is how it continued till the end. Also attended by Governor Adolphe Lele Lafrique of the Northwest region, the dignitaries later took turns to shake hands with all the newly promoted as congratulatory message from hierarchy. It should be noted that the most superior officers were recently promoted by decree of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, while those of the rank and file benefited from a decision of the Minister of Defense. Family members, friends, and relatives later invaded the ceremonial ground to shower recipients with bouquets of flowers while awaiting the next Armed Forces Day on April 1, 2025.
And we swing over to Betra, that is in the east region of the country, where the security was heightened during festive period or during the end of year ceremony. In churches, just like across the streets and in all the towns, it was heightened security. Details with Sheriff Saleh.
As the festive season reaches its peak, the regional delegation of national security in the East region of Cameroon has rolled out a robust plan to maintain order and protect residents. Acting on instructions from the senior leadership, police forces are visibly active across the region, particularly at night. In the capital city of Betua, security teams have ramped up efforts with vehicle inspections, ID card verifications, and patrol in busy public spaces. In Manjo, a town just outside Betua, 3 patrol units are actively monitoring neighborhoods, ensuring a constant presence to deter any potential disruptions. Speaking to locals, the sentiment is overwhelmingly positive. Many residents have expressed relief and confidence in the heightened security measures. As 2025 begins, authorities have announced plans to further intensify patrols and security checks. The goal is to deter crime and ensure that everyone can usher in 2025 with peace and joy. Residents have been urged to cooperate with the security forces and report any suspicious activity. The coordinated efforts aim to make this festive season not only joyous but also safe for all.
Well, thanks very much, Sheriff Saleh. And work has completely or effectively resumed today after the New Year's feasting, while some workers completely stayed home. Others, even though laden with fatigue, actually made it to their office on January 2. Tyson Chair actually went through some of the offices in Yaoundé, and this is what he brought back.
Despite the heavy feasting yesterday, December 1st, 2025, many have answered present at their respective offices this Thursday.
On se sent encore dans la fête parce que nous, là où on est là, on est fatigué. Avec tout ce qu'on a consommé comme bière, alcool et tout ça. Mais le rythme revient déjà.
At the Yaoundé Pilot Linguistic Center, it is business as usual in different facets under the stewardship of the director.
The rhythm is the usual one. We are always there. We are available to serve our nation. Yeah, as usual, 7:30. We even open at 7:30. The doors are open from 7:30 to 3:30.
Similar atmosphere at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, with the different units busy with work from one corner to another.
Personnel are there. They came to work. It is an obligation for personnel to be at work and to serve. We are civil servants. We are there to serve the population.
The first major thing on the agenda for the year 2025 already scheduled.
Monday 6, an annual conference. So we are there to prepare all about it.
And while some breach the odds to get to work, others are yet to come out of the enjoyment pool, as a good number of offices in the Yaoundé capital city remain locked this January 2nd.
I'll stay with you, Hassan Chair, or remain in Yaoundé, as you are going to report that January seems to be a period where there's going to be too much hunger. Now, while you are reporting that Yaoundé city dwellers are scrambling for cheap rice at the May 20th Boulevard, let's get the cost.
The fear of January hunger highly manifested here at the May 20th Boulevard in Yaoundé this January 2nd, 2025. Thousands of Cameroonians in long queues here to grab a bag of 50 kilograms of rice at 15,000 francs CFA to survive the difficult month. But the fight is long as many wait for us to have access.
On souffre ici là depuis 5 heures, même pour nous servir, même c'est les problèmes.
Oui, depuis 6 heures, moi, qu'on est ici.
We got information this morning that they are auctioning rice here. That's why I'm here. And long I'm not here alone, I just call some family members in the quarter so that we can come and benefit from this rights. Yeah, so I've been here since 8 o'clock in the morning, but when you see the rice is almost getting finished. So we don't know, maybe we'll still have it, but they keep on giving us hope that we'll have it.
They decry the irregularities in the process.
Les gens qui ont les immeubles partout là, gagnent encore les mêmes voitures pour venir discuter le baril avec nous. Est-ce que c'est normal? Le riz, le 15 000, ils n'ont pas mis 1000 francs pour manger le riz parfumé.
People are demanding more, whereas they said each person can have 2 bags or 3 bags, but one person can come and ask at least 10, 20, 30, and they still save the person. That's where the disorder is coming. You understand? And all those guys are businessmen. They are businessmen, so they come and benefit from something that the poor or the other people that are in need are supposed to have it. So they come and, they benefit from it, then they'll go and sell it in a quarter at a higher price. They come and give something behind, and then they give them that large quantity, they go and sell. Whereas people who are in need of it, they are unable to have even 2 or 3 bags.
The weak oblige to join forces with the stronger ones to be able to have access to the grains. At least 3 trucks sold here to the hungry population every day. Other venues of the operation set up by the Minister of Trade at the explanade of the former GEO's office at Kondengi and Carrefour Meg.
Interesting there, Hyacinth. Thanks very much. And this brief, Gustave Leopold Ngane has been confirmed as the new Secretary General of the Cameroon Senate. His confirmation was told this morning during an extraordinary session. 62-year-old native of Campo in the south region of the country. Is a graduate from the School of Administration, sitting administrative official with record of service in the government. His appointment as Secretary General of the Senate marks a new chapter in his distinguished career. His new tasks include, as Secretary General, modernizing the institution, supporting reforms, and strengthening regional representation in the upper house of Parliament. Gustave Leopold Ngane replaces Michel Meva Mebutu, presently in very poor health condition. His appointment marks a new era for the Senate. Here is an excerpt of Senator Mfo Tabetando, who put together, Vice President of the Senate, put together for us by Beatrice Ngamo.
For the Bureau of the Senate was principally a nomination, proposals, and the nomination of a new Secretary General. New Secretary General that have been proposed and have been overwhelmingly voted is Mr. Ngane, whose profile speaks for itself. The profile of Ngane, if you look at it, is res ipsa loquitur. It tells you who he is. It tells you he's an administrator. It tells you he's a very well-molded young gentleman. It tells you one who is very patriotic. It tells you one who is knowledgeable about legislative procedure. It tells you who is one who can administer the institution very well. That is the man to whom the President has proposed that the Bureau should examine his candidature. And the Bureau examined his candidature with overwhelming approval.
Well, that was Senator Mfo Tabetando, not from Tabetando, as you must have read in his attribution, speaking there after the confirmation of Mr. Leopold Ngane as the new Secretary General of Cameroon Senate in replacement of Michel Mebutu, who is ailing or bedridden. That draws the curtain for this edition of the news. I've been Kejan Henry Atebe. Thanking you for being there with us. Goodbye.